Good afternoon, everybody. So, the second question I get asked more than anything other than why did you get into trucking is about hours of service, your logs, etc., and how they work by law. So, here's a Reader's Digest version, kind of to start out with, and then I'll jump into some exemptions at the end because that's where people go cross-eyed on me. First and foremost, everybody asks how many hours in a day can you drive before you have to take a break. The answer to that is 11 hours. So that's it, 11 hours period. And then after that, a 10-hour break, and then I reset that clock. That's all automatic. Just so you know, our logs now are electronic. So, for example, anything I do is logged manually or automatically in the truck, I should say. As far as drive time and stuff. So at 5 miles an hour, automatically my log clicks into drive mode and starts counting away minutes off that. So there's no more cheating the system. There's no more driving the country in 2 days, having 4 logs, hiding things from the DOT. It's all regulated. The second, which is good, obviously. The second is your 14-hour work day. I can work 24 hours a day, no problem. No problem that I can't, but technically I could. But at 14 hours is the time allotted to me, and from the time I hit start my day, do my pre-check, that clock starts clicking. Now, what that means is at 14 hours I can no longer drive. So I can continue to work and stay on duty, but I cannot drive after that. Again, I have to take a 10-hour break in order to reset that clock. So, with that being said, the third log I've got, that I got to watch is my 70-hour work week. So, for a truck driver, that's a work week is 8 days. I don't know why it's not 7, it's 8. But in that 8 hours, I can only work 70 hours, okay? Whether that 70 hours is up on day 5 or whatever, you're done. Take a 34-hour reset to reset your clock and start everything over fresh and start a new week. So that's it in a nutshell. Here's the exemptions, and I'll try to remember as best I can all of them. But the first is... I'll start with personal conveyance. So I'm allowed to go into personal conveyance and it not count as anything off my logs and do shopping, go to the store, whatever it might be, do personal things. My company has a 25 mile a day allotment that they hold me accountable to. After that, I have to be in drive or what have you. So that's my company. But DOT, PC, that's what it's for. My company does that obviously because they're paying for fuel. So the second is safe haven. Let's say I plan my day out, do a proper pre-plan at the beginning of the day. I know where I want to stop, I know where I'm going to fuel, I know I'm going to take my 30-minute break, etc. Third, safe haven allows me to find a safe place to park and rest and reset. Here's the kicker to that. I cannot advance my load towards its destination. So there's no taking advantage of going into PC and getting an extra X amount of miles out of my day. I have to go back or an opposite direction of my final, so I'm not cheating the system. Brakes. So brakes are important, like I said, your 10-hour breaks and what have you. Brakes are kind of you gotta be careful with them. So let's say I am doing a 34-hour reset and hour 28 comes along and I decide that I'm going to move across the truck stop and get a better view, move my truck because the guy next to me is loud, whatever it might be. I cannot, if I don't select the right mode to move so my clock doesn't click in and I forget to and it clicks into drive because I got over 5 miles an hour, go back to start that 34-hour break all over again. I don't know a truck driver that hasn't done it at least once and it's not cool, but you got to do it. Rolling hours. So the best way I've come up with to explain that is this. So remember I got 70 hours in that day work week. So let's take, in this example, if I had 70 poker chips and each poker chip represented 1 hour, I can divide those up in those 8 days any way I want to. One day work 10, next day work 14, next day work 4, and as long as I'm staying within those parameters, I can do that. And that's how you work your day, right? So rolling hours works this way. Let's say that day 1 I run 4, day 2 I run 8, day 3 4, 8 4 8, all the way through those 8 days. Okay. Hypothetically speaking, let's say at the end of that 8th day I'm down to 0. I haven't done the math, but let's just say it does. So 8 days, I shut down my truck, I got 0 hours left. But do I wake up in the morning, that's 4 hours from day 1 are now available to me. So I can run those 4 any way I want. Then, off duty, I wait my 10 hours, I all of a sudden I get now 8 hours back from which is now day 1, right? Because I'm a day out. So that comes to me. The next day, 4 hours comes to me. The next day, 8 hours comes to me. So, for example, I really like that. If I'm going to be in this truck, I want to be making money. I want to be moving. Unless I'm at home or taking time off and I want to see part of the country on my 34, let's make money. So a lot of guys and gals will run 8.5 a day, let's say, day in, day out, and they never have to stop, right? So that's the way to do it. Split berth. I don't fully understand it. I'll be the first one to say it. You got 7 drivers, and I have slots, and I get 21 different answers. I mean, everybody's got a little different explanation, and some of them leave me cross-eyed again. So this is the way I've used it, and so I'm going to explain it this way. Let's say that when I was doing flatbed, I would have to stop work in the middle of the day. I was waiting for forklift construction guys to show up with the equipment and whatever it was, and I went off duty. Now, go off duty, like 14's still clicking, whatever, but once I hit, it's either 2 or 2.5 hours, but once I hit that off duty time, that time will come back to me, those 2.5 hours will come back to me on my 14-hour workday. So I can extend that time off and actually be working later in the day. That's how I've used it. There's a few different drivers categories, and I'll explain those categories later, that I know run out of their 14-hour workday before they run out of their 11, because they're out of the truck working a lot. And those are flatbed drivers, securing loads, waiting on customers, whatever it might be. And then you've got the intermodal drivers. Those are the containers that come off of ships. They're put on trains, you see them, and then they get put on trucks to be delivered. You see people using them on their property for storage or what have you, but that's an intermodal. I don't understand why, but for some reason they're out of their truck and they spend their 14 hours more than they do their 11. So there might be an opportunity there for a split berth. I don't know. Anyway, that's just maybe TMI. But that's pretty well the work week in a nutshell. The keys are, again, you want to manage it. You want to do it, obviously, to the best of your ability. There's times when it's not in your control. I'm forced at times to take a 34-hour reset when I don't necessarily want to. I might have to go off duty to wait for my next load. I may have to, like in this Walmart subcontract situation I'm in, take a 34-hour reset because they want me to start my week with a full 70-hour clock for them to take advantage of in a 5-day work week for them. So anyway, hit me up with any questions. I hope this is as clear as mud. Remember, God bless and have a great day, and keep the sunny side up. All right, bye.